The main shaft has a crank pin and an eccentric, and this single crank pin comes down via this connecting rod to this rocking shaft here, which has a pin on it. Then there is this slot, and this slot has a die block in it that's connected to a pin that's on this shaft. And this shaft runs to what Singer called the central bobbin system. And you can see how they used this linkage to accelerate the motion from this to get the necessary rotation to operate the sewing hook. Over here we have a Singer 15 clone, which also has zigzag stitching added to it, and we see this exact same drive layout. The die block has been made wider though, so that when zigzag stitching is occurring, the shuttle race and shuttle can move side to side to follow the needle. Now you can see that the machine is zigzag stitching. We can see there's an extra vertical rocking shaft that has been added that transmits motion from the zigzag cam at the top to this crank arm here, which through this rod and this linkage causes this whole assembly to move from side to side in time with the needle. Although this machine looks nothing like the Singer 15 on the outside, as you can see, most of the mechanisms are based off of the Singer 15. And that's why I think it's correct to call these Singer 15 clones, even though they look nothing like it, because mechanically they're just like a Singer 15. Here's the front of the arm, the head end of the arm. You can see where the needle bar and the carrier for the needle bar is. Some of the later Zigzag 15 clone machines are constructed in such a way that it simplifies the mechanism. This is simplified. The vertical rocking shaft is eliminated, and the lower shaft, which operates the bobbin, is placed back further, and a pair of right angle gears are used to turn this 90 degrees. With the hook turned 90 degrees, it does not need to move back and forth to stay with the needle as the needle swings back and forth, and thus a much simpler machine could be made, although it does add some gearing which could potentially cause timing problems if the gears wear. The way these machines were commonly made is at the factory, and I can show you this much more clearly on the original Singer Model 15. When these were assembled, the parts were not simply set screwed together. There is a set screw here, but after the parts were timed, the set screw was locked down, and then the shaft was drilled and reamed for a taper pin which is driven in there, thus ensuring that the parts stay in alignment for the life of the machine. If one of these parts had to be replaced, such as the shuttle carrier or this back crank pin, the taper pin would have to be driven out and the set screw loosened off and the new part installed and retimed, and then a new hole drilled for a new set taper pin or set screw simply used, though it's very rare to see these parts ever needing replacement. Anyway, this has been Oklahoma Bridges. This has been my further explanation of the similarity between these machines. Thank you for watching.